What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love Without Borders, Season 1, Episode 9, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. So let's get into Gabby and Charisse. Every time that I see Gabby and Charisse on my screen, I'm happy. They make me smile. They really make me smile. And so far, there hasn't been any drama with them. We've just been watching two people getting to know each other. And this works for the audience. Well, it works for me. I can only speak for myself. It definitely works for me. I don't need all this crazy drama. I don't need people who are having a whole lot of baggage, a whole lot of issues, psychological problems, emotional problems. We don't need all of that to make people interesting. We have Charisse and Gabby, and they're just two average folks who are trying to get to know each other and just trying to figure out if this is going to work out for them or not. And I'm enjoying it. I am thoroughly enjoying it. There's no drama. There's no whatever. It's just normal, a normal relationship developing, and we're witnessing it, and I love it. So we see them going out to dinner. At dinner, they're having a great time, good conversation. Charisse is smiling a lot, which is something that we did not see with Gurleen. Whenever he was with Gurleen, you could tell that he was very tense, that he was so worried about saying the wrong thing around her. So it is so nice to see Charisse completely relaxed. And so while they're having dinner, she orders the alcohol and he orders the food because he's not able to order alcohol because as a citizen of Dubai, he doesn't have a license to order or to buy alcohol. So, and I remember this coming up in the Real Housewives of Dubai. That's the first time that I had ever heard of this, that you have to have a license to buy alcohol if you're a citizen. And this is the reason why your girl Gabby is the one that orders, because she's not a citizen. She is a foreigner or a tourist, so she's able to order the alcohol. So they both talk about how much they love London. And me, being a hopeless romantic, I guess, I was kind of envisioning that London would be a great middle ground for them to start their new life together, because maybe she doesn't want to move all the way to Dubai. Maybe he doesn't want to move all the way to America, so they can meet in the middle and, live happily ever after in the city of London. But that's just me being hopeful. To tell you the truth, I don't know if this is going to work out or not. I don't know if they're made for each other or not. And in a way, I kind of don't care because I'm living in the moment with them. I'm enjoying watching them day by day. And whether it works out or not, it just doesn't really matter because regardless of what happens in the future, they have this experience where, for a very brief time, these two people were really happy with one another. Whatever happens in the future, right now, at this moment, they're happy with one another. So then we see a montage of them, living it up in Dubai. They're at the pool. They're doing different activities, going to different places, just having a grand old time. So then it's time for her to meet his parents. So they go over to his family's home and she meets his parents. And it was, the parents are extremely gracious and polite. So they welcome whoever the hell he brings home. So they welcomed her with open arms. She was very polite, very respectful to the parents. Gurleen was as well. Gurleen didn't do anything out of pocket with the parents. So everything was fine with that. And then when they sat down for dinner, Gabby brings up Charisse's relationship with Gurleen, and she tells the parents that, she was very much aware that relationship didn't work out. And she basically told the parents, that she wants to try to do better. She wants, Charisse's experience with her to be a little bit more positive. And she says, and I'm basically an open book. If there's anything that you want to ask me, go ahead. I just want to do whatever I can to reassure you that I'm not here to hurt Charisse. I'm here, to be a positive whatever with him, a positive experience for him. Whatever she said, obviously, just, summarizing. But she was like, I'm an open book. Whatever you want to know about me, go ahead and ask. So the mother was like, well, how's New Jersey? The mom didn't want to get, too deep and heavy. So she kept it very, very, very light. So let's talk about Charisse's dad. I've had my eye on Charisse's dad because I find him to be a very interesting guy. Something about Charisse's father is interesting to me. And I'm not quite sure if it's because, I'm not going to sit here and front and act like I know everything about East Asian culture, or anything like that. But he just seems not like your typical Indian father. Okay. Like he does he color his hair? Is his hair lightened or highlighted or something? His hair, or is it naturally brown like that lighter shade of brown? At the very top, I think I noticed his hair from day one, and he kind of comes across as like somebody who is very, is he trying to be like younger, act younger than his age, or try to appear like he's younger than his age? I find him very interesting. So let's move on from there. Now we're back to Charisse's apartment. On another day, I'm assuming him and Gabby are making dinner. She wants to make lobster, so she's chasing them all around the apartment with the lobster in her hand. And it's just nice to see Charisse being goofy, silly, relaxed, enjoying himself instead of uptight, instead of worried, apprehensive, full of tension, with a woman who didn't want to spend any time with him at all and always ran into her room and slammed the door shut instead of spending time with him. So it's refreshing, absolutely refreshing. I wish we would have had 9 episodes of this instead of wasting our time with Gurleen. So they sit down and have a conversation, and Charisse basically tells her that he sees potential in their relationship. He's thinking about, kids and a dog and, all of this. And there's definitely something there that he feels like is romantic between them. And she says that she does feel the same way as well. Her only issue is that she just doesn't know how to move forward because, they live in 2 different sides of the world. Now, my thing is this though, Gabby, why would you get involved in a process where you are going to, where there is this possibility or this expectation that if things work out, you're going to be moving to this other country and you're going to be living there because, I'm assuming that she's on, she had applied for or is on some type of a visa. The whole purpose of this is for the American to eventually live in this other country. So I don't know why she's apprehensive about where she's going to end up living and whether or not she's going to go home and how, her family is everything to her, which is okay. That's valid. And that there's this possibility that she might want to go back home to New Jersey. I just didn't understand that. So everything is going fantastic with them. Everything is going great with them, and I wish we could have had more of Gabby and Charisse because I think episode 10 is going to be the finale, and that's going to be the end of that. I just wanted more. I would have loved to have seen this relationship develop instead of the relationship between Gurleen and Charisse. And the funny thing is that the show got it wrong. They got it absolutely wrong. I think they saw Gurleen as someone with a lot of issues, and they thought that being with Charisse might solve those issues. And I hate it when shows about relationships and couples do that, when they match people. For example, like on Married at First Sight, it seems like they try to find the most broken people and match them with someone and hope that this person can cure them of their brokenness or something. Because, Gurleen, it was so obvious that Gurleen had some type of issue of something. But wherever she's at, I'm pretty sure she's happy. She's probably in a protest or in a march, screaming in somebody's face, doing what she loves best. Moving on to Chandra and Naim. So Naim is physically uncomfortable living with Chandra after their last fight when she confronted him about him being on this dating app. So, the conversation went completely left. It was not good. So he doesn't feel comfortable living in her home. So he tries to spend as much time as possible outside of her home. So Erica comes to see Chandra, and she tells Erica about, the fact that this is just not going to work for her. She tells Erica that she doesn't find Naim the least bit attractive, which I thought in the beginning she did, or at some point she had said that she was growing an attraction for him. But anyway, she tells Erica now she doesn't find him the least bit attractive. She says she likes big booties and he ain't got a big booty. And even his personality, she's not jiving with his personality either. So it's not all about looks. She says they're just not jiving at all whatsoever. And she just wants Naim gone. Okay, so she's going to say whatever she has to say to let Erica understand, please don't try to encourage me to keep this going. I just want him out of my damn house. So Erica believes that Chandra really wasn't ready for love, which she probably wasn't. If you're still calling up your ex-boyfriend to take you and your new potential out and about, and then your ex-boyfriend comes and spends the night, yeah, I don't think you were ready to move on to a new relationship. So Naim moves out. He puts himself in a hotel, and then all of a sudden we meet Ori. So Naim met Ori. I don't know where the hell he was, but wherever the hell he was when he met her, she was dancing. Their eyes made contact, and that's all she wrote. So he is developing a brand new relationship with a new Panamanian by the name of Ori. Now, Ori is a child physical therapist. She's extremely attractive, and they're really feeling each other. They go out on a date, and she talks about how she had prayed for a man like him. She said that when she saw him, because he was talking about, oh, when I saw you, I was just really drawn to you. There was something about you, blah, blah, blah. I was really attracted to you. And she was like, well, hey, when I saw you, I felt the same way, boo. The feeling is absolutely mutual here. So she says this is the man that she was praying for. She wanted a man that knew exactly what he wanted. She wanted a man that was very confident. Man, it's like a match made in heaven, the way they were talking to each other. A match made in heaven. So he is feeling her, she's feeling him, and he says that he is going to take a leap of faith and he's going to see where this relationship goes. So, Love Without Border, why would you choose a woman with so much baggage to be with Naim? Because Chandra did have, maybe they lied to the producers and act like, they're not having any type of issues. But once again, Chandra, just like, they missed the mark with Gurleen, they missed the mark with Chandra as well. Chandra was not ready to be in a relationship. She had unresolved issues with her abusive relationship. She had unfinished business with her most recent ex-boyfriend. So yeah, she really wasn't ready for this. But I want to see more of Naim and Ori. And that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. But, next week is the finale, so who knows what happened. Moving on to Mael and Aaron. So they're having another conversation about the status of their relationship. Mael expresses all of his frustration so far that he's had with Aaron. Basically that he has given this relationship his all. He has been very available to Aaron, very open with Aaron, very clear and concise with what he's looking for, and he feels like Aaron is just not going to deliver. And so Aaron says that the couple of times that they hooked up, he said that he really had no interest at all, and that he was just going through the motions because he felt a lot of pressure to develop feelings for Mael. Now, what he said was extremely blunt. When he said, yeah, when we hooked up, I really wasn't feeling it. It's extremely blunt, hurtful, but at least it was honest. Okay, at least it was honest, and I appreciate him for being honest. I don't think there was any way for him to sugarcoat that. I don't think there was any way for him to sugarcoat that. To say that, hey, when we were getting it on, I really wasn't feeling it. It just really wasn't doing anything for me. Mael has to hear it. Mael has to hear it. Aaron has to say it so we can stop playing these damn games. So Aaron says that he still doesn't have any romantic feelings, but he does enjoy spending time with Mael, and he does enjoy being in the moment with Mael. And Mael is like, I really don't give a damn about none of that. Okay, if you're not feeling me, you're not feeling me. I don't give a damn about the moment, about, what you like about me. This is the end. This is a lost cause. I cannot keep doing this with you. So for whatever reason, they go back to the bridge where they have put their love locks. So there's this bridge over there in Paris where people will buy a lock, or couples will buy a lock, put their initials on it or whatever they want to write on the lock, and then they put the lock on the bridge. So they're going back. Were they going back to get the lock and then throw it in the water? Like, why were they going back to this bridge? But they go back and there are no locks. All the locks are gone. All of them are gone. And that was, to me, that was very interesting. I wanted to know what happened to the damn locks. Why would they get rid of the locks? So they both decided that it's best for them to end the relationship now. Erica says that Aaron couldn't get past himself and that Aaron was not willing to get out of his comfort zone. Aaron was looking for Thor. Because remember in the beginning when we first met Aaron, he said his type was one of those Liam Hemsworth, one of those Hemsworth brothers, whichever one played Thor. That's his type. Big, strong, muscly, blonde, Nordic features. That's his type. And Mael just wasn't that. And so, I mean, what can you say? If Mael wasn't that, I think from day one, Aaron was shut down when he saw Mael, because Mael did not fit what he physically is attracted to. Aaron completely shut down. Mael was more open. I don't think we even knew what Mael's type was, but Mael was open to the experience. Aaron was not. He was like, okay, he doesn't look like Thor. This is just not going to work for me. And he kept on staying and staying and staying because Erica kept on encouraging him to give it a chance, give it a chance, give it a chance. And he gave it his all, and it just wasn't going to work. So that is the end of that. So when Aaron leaves, Mael feels really sorry for himself. I think we even see him crying. And he wasn't crying for the end of the relationship or for Aaron leaving. He was crying for himself, that he was once again alone. He even compared himself to a mushy tomato that nobody wants. That made me feel so sad. And I wish that we had more episodes, or that he comes back next season and Love Without Borders tries again with him with somebody else. Somebody who would appreciate him a little bit more. But that made me so sad to see Mael sad like that. Moving on to Dana from Montana and Brian from Ireland. So they're at a pub. And it seems like they're having a really good time. When I look at Dana, I'm like, she's a very attractive woman. I don't know what the hell Brian's problem is, for him to be so hung up on her age. But she's a very attractive woman. So they're at this pub and there is a live band. I mean, and I use the term band loosely because I think it was two guys, one with an accordion and one with a little guitar. A duo, I guess, a live duo. So they're up there in this pub and they're playing music, and Dana decides to join in with them. So she takes her guitar and she joins in with them, and they do a little song, and it was all fun. And Brian says that when he sees Dana in her element, when she's singing and playing her music, he's even more attracted to her because, she's doing what she really loves, and it really brings out the best in her, and she really glows. So when he sees her, performing or whatever, that's when he's really into her. So then they go to the bar, and the bartender gives them their drinks. And as the bartender is passing them their drinks, the bartender says, if you can't lift her, don't shift her. Which means if you can't lift her up, physically lift her up, then don't kiss her, because shift means kiss in Ireland. And when the bartender said that joke, Brian laughed. And Dana didn't. And Dana did not find it funny at all. And she was actually offended that Brian laughed at that particular joke. So the next day, they're out in the pasture. I don't know where they're exactly. I don't know. It's just beautiful green grass everywhere. Just so beautiful. And the cows are there. So she brings this up, and she says, at the pub, when the bartender made that joke, you laughed, and I was really offended by that. And so Brian is like, in his confessional, he's like, wow, she's really, really, really sensitive. So she tells him, I didn't like the fact that you laughed at that joke because the joke wasn't funny at all. So at first he was trying to kind of argue back with her, but then he kind of just gave up, and he was like, okay, you know what? I'm sorry. So he says to her that he finds her, I guess he thought that, or she implied, or she made it seem like because he laughed at that joke about, being able to physically pick up a woman, maybe he saw her as, I don't know, overweight or something. I don't know how she internalized that, but she did internalize that whole joke exchange. She did internalize it. And so then he was trying to reassure her that, hey, I find you very, very attractive. Just because I laughed at that joke doesn't mean that I see you, as some, big fat woman. I find you very attractive. And he says, my level of attraction for you has definitely grown from when I first met you. Which is strange. because when he first met her, he wanted to jump her bones immediately. Okay, so he says, as time goes on and I get to know you more, because his whole thing is, and it's a ton of BS. But he says, well, the more I get to know her, the more attracted I am to her. I don't think it was the fact that he didn't know her enough. It was because he found out she was 38 years old, point blank, period. Before he found out that she was 38, he was all into her, couldn't keep his hands off of her, trying to get her to go to bed with him. As soon as he found out that she was 38 years old, he started to cool off. And now he's trying to backpedal and say, hey, I cooled off because I really didn't know you. That's why I started to kind of like, put this distance between us, because I really didn't know you. But now I'm beginning to really know you, and my attraction for you is growing. She's still 38, Brian, and she's only getting older by the minute. So he tells her that my attraction for you is a 5 out of 10. My level of attraction for you is a 5 out of 10. And so she was kind of like, huh? And so then she says to him, well, there's a lot of moments where I feel like you're leading me on, because to her, a 5 out of 10 is extremely low. Like, you're not attracted to me that much. But then you do things as if you are attracted to me, like you want to hold hands and you want to be romantic and this and that. But then you're telling me that it's a 5 out of 10. And so he says that everything he does, whenever he is, touchy-feely with her, really whatever, hands-on with her, like wanting to hold her hand and be, physically close to her and all of that. He says everything he does, it's intentional and it's genuine. It's not fake. He's not leading her on. I don't know what to say. If I was Dana, I would just be like, you know what, I'm out of here. Because after that first huge misunderstanding that they had, I saw no purpose of them staying together. But for whatever reason, she sees something in this to want to continue. And so, okay, let's talk about the joke. Was she right to be offended by the joke that the bartender made and Brian laughing at that joke? Does she have the right to be offended by that? So I don't know if she internalized that, like she thought to herself, does he see me that way? Or if she was, defending all womankind, and she was like, even though I'm not fat, I'm not going to stand for men joking about, women who are a little bit on the heavy side. I don't know if it was that or what. I think that she should have kind of let it go. And this is coming from, a fluffy chick. I think she should have kind of let it go, because he was just being polite. The bartender made a joke and he just wanted to get his drinks and move on. And he probably was just being polite. I don't think he repeated the joke back to the bartender, or I don't think he repeated those words. I think he just laughed it off, took the drinks, and was ready to move on. And she was still stuck in the moment. And where did she, I think he was just trying to be nice. I think he was just trying to be nice, laugh it off, no big deal, let's move on. And she was like, oh, he's laughing, so, he hates fat women. He wants to fat shame everybody. I don't know. But I think she took it a little bit too seriously. Whatever. 5 out of 10. I don't think the whole thing of rating, I don't like it. I don't think people should be rating each other like that, in a real relationship. I don't think people, I think you're this and this out of that. I don't think so. This is not a movie review. This is not a book review. This is not a food review. This is a human being. Okay. This is a human being with feelings, and we all change as time goes on. We all fluctuate with everything. So I don't believe in that. I don't think you should look a woman or a man in the face and say, I rate you a 5 out of 10. No, because that is so subjective. Some people think, a 5 out of 10, at least I'm not a 2. And some people could take a 9.9 out of 10 and be devastated and be crushed and never, get over it. So he shouldn't have rated her. That was wrong. Just say, the more I get to know you, the more I'm liking you, the more I'm liking us. And I want you to stick around and give this as much of a chance as I'm giving it. And just leave it at that. Let's not rate. She's not a piece of meat. She's not, just stop. Let's stop with the rating. So I think that's all I have to say. I mean, she's still there. She's still, sticking with it. I don't know if she's really happy, though. I really don't know if she's really happy. Moving on to Philip and Carmen. So Philip and Carmen. Philip is really smitten by Carmen. He is very, very attracted to her. So we talked about how he was going through this cleansing thing before he even arrived to Ghana. He was trying to cleanse out his spirit, his soul, whatever, so he was, abstinent and not eating meat and whatever else he was doing, a whole bunch of water, yoga, all of that. So I think it's very hard for him to live with a woman this attractive and not be able to do anything with her. So he's like dropping hints all over the place. Like he's ready to get down. And, I feel like, she definitely knows it, but she's still kind of like keeping her distance when it comes to that, right? Because I don't see her having the same attraction for him. Even though she says she finds him attractive, I just don't see her having that level of attraction for him as he has towards her, as he does towards her. So they decide to go on a picnic, and it's at this beautiful little waterfall lake area. And so they're both in really good spirits. I think even Carmen says in her confessional that at this particular moment, everything is going so well between them. They're getting along really, really well because they've had a couple of bumps in the road. So Philip doesn't want to be in the friend zone anymore. He wants to bump this relationship up a little bit. So as they're sitting there, he gave her flowers. He gave her this beautiful bouquet of flowers. I have no idea where it came from, because when he presented her with the flowers, she acted very surprised, like she had no idea that he was going to give her flowers. But the hike to the little area that they were at by the waterfall, I'm like, well, where was he hiding these flowers? But that's neither here nor there. So he presents her with the flowers. She enjoys it. She thinks it's really beautiful. And he starts to pour his heart out to her to let her know that he's really feeling her and he wants to be her boyfriend. But at that exact moment, when he opens up his heart, a damn wasp came and stung her and ruined the damn moment. I was so upset because I really wanted to know her answer. I've been wanting to know how she really truly felt about him. Let's go back to last week's episode real quick. When he was playing that song for her, and one of the lines in the song was something about your body so mystical. And in her confessional, she says, how can he say anything about my body when he's never touched it? And I was kind of like, girl, why are you being so critical? It's just a damn song. Just appreciate it for what it is. It's just a song. He doesn't mean it literally. 95% of these singers don't mean everything that they sing literally. It's just a song. And when she was listening to it, I felt like she could have appreciated it even more, even though she did compliment him and say, oh, this is dope. This is dope. I can't believe this is you. This is really, really good. This is better than what I thought. She did compliment him a lot, but I felt like maybe she was a little bit uncomfortable that he would devote an entire song to her when she probably is not on that level with him. It's like, damn, this guy wrote a song. He was in the studio all day, laying down tracks and writing this song about me. And the song is like really deep. And, I don't feel that way towards him. I don't know if Carmen feels the same way towards Philip as he does towards her. And maybe the stinging of when she got stung by the wasp, maybe that was a damn sign that this just isn't meant to be, that he should not be pouring his heart out to her because she's not going to feel the same. Anyway, that is my review. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please do not forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will most definitely talk to you later. Bye.